Hello everyone, we are back with the third episode of our podcast, Let's Talk Shop, wherein we talk about various essential things which helps us to make better design decisions and make us industry ready. I am Gurleen Kaur, your host for today, and we are in conversation with Director of Design Vedantu and co-founder Design Thinking UX Community, Mr. Alok Kumar. Mr. Kumar firmly believes in taking design decisions and empathizing with user by bridging the gap between product and its consumer. Thank you, sir, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me here. Thank you.
To start with, noting the fact that you have been in industry for last 17 years, and when you started your design career, at that point of time, mobile application ecosystem was at a very nascent stage.
Yes.
So, but this is not seen today. Mobile application can be seen everywhere. So, how do designers now can deal with those changes like you did it before?
You know what? I think very first thing that every designer need to be very adaptive. You cannot choose that. You cannot take your opinion. You cannot take your own happy time to respond because the industry is changing very quickly. There's a conventional method that I should be using watch to watch a time. I should use mobile to do calling, but things are changing. Right now, I can't do anything without mobile. So world is changing very quickly. Industry is changing. People are talking about AR, VR, and a lot of other stuff. People are talking about metaverse. So all we need to do, understand where industry is going. That's what I did. I started my career as a graphic designer.
Yes.
Just a print person who was designing advertisement for newspaper advertisement, magazine ads. But with world, I had to move to web. Then sudden web moved to mobile. Everyone had mobile. So I had to think of how to make a website for mobile. Then app, then UI, UX. So with the industry, I had to choose. All you need to do, you need to keep an eye on the industry, how things are moving, what things are coming. You should look at what thing is about to come. Leaders in the industry, they might tell you something more. They can save your time. You might be investing your 10 hours to read something. Maybe in half an hour, you might get something very important information.
Reading is very essential, sir.
Yes.
Adding on, like in your career, we can see there's a transition from UI domain to UX domain in your career.
Yeah.
So I just want to know, like, what was the reason behind this transition and what challenges you faced during that, and what is your opinion for the budding designers who are seeking similar changes?
So I tell you, I have been coming from that place where we used to be called web designers. There was no UI designers. We were web designers, and even the KRA of web designers were you have to design, you have to do your HTML and give that HTML to a coder. Then he will do the back end.
Yes.
You are responsible for the front end. So there are the cons that you have to do a lot of other stuff, but it's a pro that you know the technology. You know what is possible in HTML. Maybe I might design something which might make the website very happy in HTML. But since I know the basics, while designing, I'll make sure that I do in such a manner that things are possible. But when the industry changes, UX came in the picture, there was a panic in the industry. Hey, I am a web designer. Everyone has become UI designers. Everyone has become UX designers. I'm still a web designer. What to do? So I'm thankful to Chitkara kind of university who are now talking about UI, UX, talking about research, talking about how design helps, how design is not just beautiful, it's about problem solving.
Right.
That's the base you should build here. And if you are in the industry, you are talking to people, you are kind of following the trend is going on. You cannot skip the following trends. When I moved from web to UI, that time I remember I did a HFI course just to learn UX because again I was working. I had no time to leave my job and go to a college and study. But that's a challenge with everyone. All I want to say that for a designer, don't think design as just the visual element, not just aesthetic. Think it from business perspective. What solution you can bring that can bring the revenue, that can move the metrics. That's how you can prove your value. That is what should be your main goal.
It's definitely designer not just based on visuals. Adding on to it, like when we cannot ignore the fact that empathizing is very important to get a good design out. So, but there are services like Vedantu itself where we see diversified set of users, where some students are very much comfortable with online classes and students those who struggle the lack of connection, the personal connection there. So as a head of design, how do you manage to get a design which is inclusive, which is very much inclusive for all the students?
That is where your empathy comes in the picture. You will empathize with everyone, but your solution need not to be same for everyone. All we do is like we do empathize with our users very often. It could be any way. I am going to students might come to me or whatever manner or online, offline, whatever. Whether even COVID, we did not stop to talk to our students. In fact, that time I would say it was better to reach students, everyone at home. It's very easy to get someone's time.
Right.
I could easily get someone's time and I could easily get 10 minutes of your student and talk to them. And then it was easier for me to make my product better. So I would say your goal is empathy. Route could be anything, online, offline, or whatever way. You need to choose your users in right manner so that you take your call. You categorize the users as per their behavior, as per the skill set they have, and then you can do the justice. That's what we do primarily.
So, sir, yes, it's definitely there. So, after empathizing and doing the research, when it comes to making the content visually attractive, that is the UI element.
Yes.
We as designer at this stage of time have plenty of resources on internet.
Yes.
So, this plentiness sometimes stops the creativity. We are not able to bring our own ideas on the paper. So what is your opinion for designers like us, those who face this problem of getting their ideas out on the paper?
Everyone wants to reinvent the zero. Why to reinvent? Zero is perfect.
Yes.
Let's go ahead. Plan how to use this zero and make a cycle.
Right.
Or make a super bike or something. So that is something you need to learn. You need to learn that how you should not be so connected with your design. Don't be emotional about your design that something you have worked is awesome, it should go. It's possible that it might not fit the business value. You should be very much adaptive in such a manner that what will go, what will not go, what is good for business. Because constraint will be always there, whether it's from a manager, from business, from people, from user. There will be people whom you cannot ignore. At least you cannot ignore your users at all.
Right.
So if something you're making awesome but users are not loving, no point of having the design.
Right.
That is something you need to learn.
Yeah.
That is more of a behavior change. That is something I recommend users and every designer should adopt, in my eyes.
Thinking beyond the box, but again staying the limit.
Limits, exactly.
There's lots to learn from you.
Thank you so much.
So it was a wonderful session with lots of insights and definitely gonna help us to make better design decisions. I hope you have enjoyed the session and soaked in all the value bombs just like I did. For more design-driven content, make sure you follow Chitkara Design School on Instagram and LinkedIn. To watch the previous episodes of Let's Talk Shop, you can jump onto YouTube channel of Chitkara Design School and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Until then, this is me, Gurleen, signing off.